Welcome to JB's Academy of Science. This video series is intended to help students preparing for class 10 board examinations for both CBSE and state board syllabus. So in this science series, we will start with our first chapter, chemical reactions and equations. This chapter is dealt in two lessons, lesson 1 and lesson 2. Lesson 1 is with chemical reaction and chemical equations and balancing chemical equations. Lesson 2, we are going to learn about types of chemical reactions, oxidation and reduction, and applications of oxidation and reduction in our real life situations. Chemical reactions. So we have learned what is a chemical reaction in the previous lesson. Chemical reaction is the process in which two or more substances react together and get transformed into new substances. Now, are all chemical reactions are of same type? No, there are different types of chemical reactions. They are combination reactions, decomposition reactions, displacement reactions, double displacement reactions, and oxidation and reduction. Let us discuss all these types of reactions one by one. First, combination reactions. Consider this chemical reaction. Magnesium plus oxygen gives to magnesium oxide. A piece of magnesium ribbon, when burnt in air, we know that it burns in air to form magnesium oxide. A white powder will be formed. So 2Mg plus O2 gives 2MgO. In this reaction, magnesium and oxygen combine together to form a single compound called magnesium oxide. Another example, when you mix calcium oxide with water, they combine together and a new substance will be formed, calcium hydroxide. Calcium oxide plus water gives to calcium hydroxide and heat will be liberated out. CaO plus H2O gives CaOH twice plus heat. These type of reactions in which two or more reactants combine to form a single substance as product are called combination reactions. Two or more reactants combine to form a single product. Remember, in combination reactions, product will be only one substance. Now let us see some more examples for combination reactions. Carbon or coal burning in air or oxygen is a combination reaction of carbon with oxygen. Carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. C plus O2 gives CO2. Hydrogen combines with chlorine to form hydrogen chloride. H2 plus Cl2 gives 2HCl. Hydrogen combines with oxygen to form water. H2, 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O. Now, decomposition reactions. Look at this example. When some amount of calcium carbonate taken in a crucible is heated, then calcium carbonate will be decomposed into two substances, calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. CaCO3 gives CaO plus CO2 on heating. So one single substance is decomposed into two. So these type of reactions in which a single substance as a reactant is decomposed to form two or more substances as product are called decomposition reactions. Let us see some more examples for decomposition reactions. Lead nitrate on heating gives lead oxide plus nitrogen dioxide plus oxygen. Ferrous sulfate on heating decomposes to ferric oxide plus sulfur dioxide plus sulfur trioxide. So in all these reactions, one single substance gets decomposed into two or more new substances. These type of reactions are decomposition reactions. One more example, silver chloride in presence of sunlight, it decomposes into silver and chlorine. Same way, silver bromide in presence of sunlight decomposes to silver and bromine. Now, this decomposition reaction of silver chloride and silver bromide are used in photography, is used in black and white photography. They are used to make photographic films. Now, in some of these reactions what we dealt earlier, in some reactions heat is evolved, heat is liberated during some reactions. For example, when carbon burns in air, carbon dioxide is produced. That reaction, C plus O2 is CO2. Lot of heat is liberated out. These type of reactions in which heat is evolved are called exothermic reactions. Examples for exothermic reactions, burning of natural gas, respiration process is a exothermic reaction. The decomposition of vegetable matter into compost. Now, in some reactions, heat is absorbed. Heat is required to perform the reaction. Such reactions in which heat is absorbed are called endothermic reactions. Examples are thermal decomposition of calcium carbonate. We just studied the reaction. Calcium carbonate, when heated, it decomposes into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So thermal decomposition. Thermal decomposition of lead nitrate. These are examples for endothermic reactions. Now, displacement reactions. Consider this example. We have a solution of copper sulfate. Copper sulfate, we know it is blue in color. Aqueous solution of copper sulfate. A zinc plate is dipped into this copper solution. If you observe after some time, you can see that the zinc plate will be covered with brown copper particles. So what is happening during this reaction? Zinc reacts with copper sulfate and displaces copper from the solution and it becomes zinc sulfate. So copper will be displaced by zinc. Such type of reactions are called displacement reactions. Here Zn plus CuSO4 gives ZnSO4 plus Cu. Copper is displaced by zinc. So chemical reactions in which one element displaces another element are called displacement reactions. Let us see more examples for displacement reactions. So instead of zinc, if we place iron in copper sulfate solution, it will displace copper and become iron sulfate. Iron plus copper sulfate is iron sulfate plus copper. Lead plus copper chloride gives lead chloride plus copper. Iron plus lead nitrate gives iron nitrate plus lead. These are some examples for displacement reactions. Now let us go to double displacement reactions. Look at this example. Sodium carbonate solution and cobalt chloride solution. We are mixing the solutions of sodium carbonate and cobalt chloride. Then we can see that sodium chloride and cobalt carbonate are produced. They just exchange their ions. Sodium carbonate, cobalt chloride. Sodium chloride and cobalt carbonate. They just exchange their ions. Sodium takes up chloride, cobalt takes up carbonate. Just the mutual exchange of the ions. So these reactions in which two substances react by mutual exchange of their ions to form new substances are called double displacement reactions. Some more examples for double displacement reactions. Zinc sulfide plus hydrochloric acid gives zinc chloride plus hydrogen sulfide. Sodium sulfate plus barium chloride gives barium sulfate plus sodium chloride. You see, in all these reactions, just mutual exchange of ions take place. So here, in this reaction, sodium sulfate plus barium chloride, barium sulfate plus sodium chloride are produced. Barium sulfate is insoluble in water. Therefore, barium sulfate particles will get precipitated out in this reaction as shown in the figure. So these type of reactions in which a precipitate is formed, the formation of precipitate, an insoluble solid, they are called precipitation reactions. So insoluble solids are produced during a chemical reaction. Example is sodium sulfate plus barium chloride. If you mix barium chloride solution with potassium sulfate, the same reaction will happen. Potassium chloride plus barium sulfate. Now, oxidation and reduction. So we might have seen the objects made up of iron exposed to moisture and air will get rusted up, correct? So here you can see in the picture rusted iron, we can see. So why this rusting is happening? Iron reacts with oxygen in presence of moisture and its oxide is formed. The rust visible on the iron objects is nothing but iron oxide, oxide of iron. So here iron combines with oxygen in presence of water. Water is acting here as a catalyst and iron oxide will be formed. Now, when an element gains oxygen in a reaction, we say that is oxidized. Here, iron gains oxygen. Therefore, we say iron is oxidized. Look at this reaction. Copper plus oxygen. If some copper powder or copper particles are heated in presence of air or oxygen, we can see that these copper particles or powder will turn black, deep blue. That is, copper combines with oxygen to form its oxide. So here copper gains oxygen. So we say copper is oxidized. Now this same reaction can be reversed if hydrogen is passed over copper oxide in presence of heat. Copper oxide plus hydrogen in presence of heat, it will decompose into copper, and hydrogen will combine with the oxygen in copper oxide to form water. Here, copper loses oxygen. We say copper is reduced. So, two processes we can define here looking at these reactions. The process by which an element gains oxygen is called oxidation. Reduction. The process by which an element loses oxygen is called reduction. Now, redox reactions. Look at this reaction. CuO plus H2 gives Cu plus H2O. Here, copper loses oxygen, so we say copper is reduced. Hydrogen gains oxygen, so we say hydrogen is oxidized. So in this particular chemical reaction, oxidation and reduction happen at the same time. When one reactant is oxidized, another reactant is reduced. So reduction and reactions happen same time. So we call such reactions oxidation reduction reactions or redox reactions. The reactions in which one substance gets oxidized and the other substance gets reduced are called oxidation reduction reactions or redox reactions. One more example for redox reaction. Zinc oxide plus carbon gives zinc plus carbon monoxide. Now, effects of oxidation and reduction in our real life situations. So these are two common things what we can observe in our real life. The first one is rusting of iron. So the objects made up of iron will get rusted over a period of time due to the reaction with the oxygen present in the atmosphere. This process we call rusting. And not only iron, even other objects made up of copper, etc., will get oxidized. This process we call corrosion. So corrosion is a natural process in which metals get converted into their stable forms such as oxides, sulfides, carbonates, etc. You might have observed some green layer coating is formed on copper vessels and other copper objects. This is due to the formation of carbonate of copper over a period of time. It reacts with carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere and turns carbonate, cupric carbonate. So this is one effect of oxidation and reduction. Another, if you keep food items which has fat or oil for some time, you can see that it turns unpleasant smell and taste. So this condition we call rancidity, the condition produced by natural oxidation of fat and oils present in food that turns it unpleasant to smell and taste. This is called rancidity. So fatty foods or oils, if you keep over a period of time, you can see that the smell and taste of the food items will get changed and will become unpleasant due to this oxidation and reduction, and this condition is called rancidity. So we say such foods rancid food becomes rancid after some time. These are some effects of oxidation and reduction in our real life situations. Thanks for watching the video. The more videos on other chapters will be uploaded soon. Have a great learning. Good luck. Please comment your suggestions and opinions in the comment section. That is very important for us to improve our video qualities. Thank you once again.